Hey everyone, in this video we will see how to play Rubinstein variation in French defense. So let's start the video. E4, E6, D4, D5, Knight C3. Here black have three main options. First is Bishop B4, which is called as whenever variation. Second is Knight F6, which is classical variation, and the third one is D into E4, and today we will see how to play this variation D into E4. So D into E4 is called as Rubinstein variation. So after D into E4, the obvious option is to capture with knight into E4, and if white didn't capture knight into E4, then you don't have any good move. So after knight into E4, here black can play two moves, knight d7, bishop d7. In this video we will cover knight d7, and in our next video we will see how to play with bishop d7. So I have played both lines multiple times in various games. So I prefer bishop d7 in rapid games and knight d7 in classical. After knight d7, white plays knight f3, which is also a very obvious move. After knight f3, knight g f6, and then here white have three main options, which is knight g3, knight into f6, and bishop d3. So bishop d3 and knight into f6 are both similar. Let's see what happens after bishop d3, which is main line. So after bishop d3, we just exchange this knight, bishop into e4, and now knight f6. So white cannot give his bishop for our knight, so that's why white have only d3 square available. So after bishop d3, and after bishop d3, now we have to play a very important move, which is c5. So see, in this position, if we do nothing, like if black do nothing, then white is obviously better because of this bishop, and even after some time this bishop will come to g5, knight will come to e5. So that's why we have to break through in center, and for that we will play c5. After c5, short castle, and we will take this pawn. Now knight into, and here queen into is obviously blunder because of bishop b5 check, which is a very common trap in French defense. And now you can see white will take queen on next move. So after knight into d4, we will just simply play bishop e7, and it's clearly equal position. After bishop e7, our main plan is to do short castle, queen c7, b6, and bishop b7. So b6, bishop b7 is must. You have to play b6 and bishop b7 in the game, and sometimes black can play e5, e4. So yeah, this position is completely fine for black. So let's see other variation. So after knight f3, knight g f6, here we saw bishop d3. What if knight into f6? It's same, knight into f6, knight into f6, bishop d3, and the variation is converted in our last variation. So after bishop d3, c5, and let's see one more variation. After c5, white can play bishop e3 here to grab this c5 pawn for free. So it's clear that white's threat is to capture this c5 pawn, so we have to defend this c5 pawn first. So we will play queen c7. We can take c into d4, but c into d4 is not good for black because of bishop into d4, bishop e7. If we do short castle plan, then queen into short castle, and white will do long castle here. And now you can see these two bishops are very strong, and even this rook file is completely open. White can play moves like knight g5 and maybe queen h5 in near future, and sometimes h4, g4 are also very deadly. So that's why here after bishop e3, c into d4 will not work. So we will play queen c7 to defend this c5 pawn, and after queen c7 the main move is bishop b5 check, bishop d7, bishop into d7, then knight into d7. And now if white do nothing, like for example if white play short castle type moves, then we can just take c into d4, play bishop c5, and then short castle or rook d8 even. So that's why white will play d5 to grab some central control. And after d5 we'll simply take e into d5, queen into d5, knight f6, and now queen c4, bishop d6. This position is, I would say, equal. White has some slight advantage because white's pawn structure is very good, and we have this weakness on c5, and white's queen is slightly more developed than our queen. But black is also fine. Black's main plan is to do short castle, develop his both rooks, and maybe you can play moves like rook e4 and try to exchange this e3 bishop with your bishop. So basically your main plan should be exchange as many pieces as you can. So you can just exchange everything and the position will be completely equal. It's obviously difficult, but you can play few games and you will understand about this position more. And obviously you can analyze this position by yourself. So yeah, we have seen this variation also, and now we will go to knight g3 move, which is a very important move to understand. So after knight g3, again we have to take center break with c5. So we will play c5. Now bishop e2. White can play bishop d3, but the problem of bishop d3 is we can take c into d4, knight into d4, and we can play knight c5, and this bishop is now attacked. And always if someone gives their bishop for your knight, then you can take, at least in opening. So after c5, white will play bishop e2, bishop e7, short castle, and b3 here to develop this bishop on b2, and now that bishop will become very strong. So b3, b6, bishop b2, bishop b7, and this position is completely fine for black and also for white. So black's plan is now simple: queen c7, rook c8, rook d8, and maybe then he can take c into d4, play knight c5, develop this both bishops to maybe c5 to d5, maybe knight e4 is also a good plan. So this is also very comfortable for black. So after knight f3, our last variation is knight f6. It's not a variation, but it's a trap which can applied by white. So after knight f6, bishop d3, and trap starts here. So our main move is c5, but sometimes black plays bishop e7 here. Some players already played bishop e7, including myself. So after bishop e7, white can play queen e2. We'll just see the trap, short castle, bishop g5, and as we have already seen, the main plan should be b6, bishop b7, but here b6 is clearly blunder because of bishop into f6, and queen e4. Now this is double attack. So a8 rook is also hanging, and queen into h7 is checkmate. So yeah, that's it. But overall black is fine in almost every variation. Just remember to play c5 in this position after bishop d3. You can play bishop e7 like we have seen in recent variation, but bishop e7 is not that good move. So c5 is a best choice for black here, and in all variation black is just doing fine. So thank you for watching this video. See you in next video. Bye bye.